So, I done lost my mind. Welcome to Dank Comics, and in today's video, I'm just gonna talk about what this hobby of comic book collecting is and what it is for me and where it's at right now and how I lost my mind. Because I didn't know I was losing my mind, but I found out I did, okay? So anyway, I used to collect comics when I was 12. I'm 36, right? I think I'm 36 now. So I was collecting comics from when I was 12 to 18, and that was like in the 90s. And at the time, it was so different. I mean, today, I don't know, something happened. Anyway, when I was 18, I got out of it because it was too much money, too much commitment, and I had to go to college. You know, more important things were happening, so I kind of left the hobby for a while. Then during this pandemic, you know, nothing's happening. And I went and looked at my old comic book collection, and I started going through the comics. And I was like, hey, you know, how much are these things worth nowadays, right? And to my surprise, I had several that were worth quite a bit of money. And I think that's kind of got me back in. But so I had Star Wars Heir to the Empire, issue 1. It's kind of a infamous comic now because it was the first appearance of General Admiral Thrawn, right? Or Admiral Thrawn. And I got it for like $2 in a bin like a long time ago. I thought it would be worthless, but I just liked it. I thought it was a pretty cool comic. Look it up. Some people are selling it for like $1,000 now, an issue. Blew my mind. I was like, what? This could be $1,000? And then I had like Thundercats issue 1. I was like, what? This could be $600, right? A couple of things I thought weren't valuable turned out to be very valuable because the market has changed tremendously, right? It's all about the graded comic, the CGC 9.8 comic, right? So if you don't know what CGC is, it's this grading service where they grade your comic and they seal it up in this really hard to remove plastic container. And this is a 9.6, not a 9.8. And yeah, so when CGC started, I think it was the 90s, people only used it for like old books, you know? At the time when it just started, people were like, yeah, I should grade my old comics. And the value would increase, you know, whatever. But, you know, it's been almost 20 years and I'm coming back into the hobby and now I'm finding that they're grading everything. People are grading every comic, all the new releases, everything. And if it's a 9.8, the value can 10x sometimes based on the regular value. Grade it with the highest grade value, 2x, 10x, whatever. And I thought, oh, this is cool. I want to get into this. Like, this would be fun, buying and selling and getting comics. So I sent out a bunch of books to get graded. They're being pressed and cleaned. So that's another thing too, comic book pressing. So these are books that need pressings and cleanings, right? And pressing is when there's like little creases, little whatever, and they can press it out with a t-shirt press with heat and humidity and press out the creases and stuff. And that can change the grade. So back in the day, if you had a crease in your book, that's it. You're not getting the highest grade, but now you can press it out. That's a new development also in the last couple of years. I started buying books on eBay. I started hunting for books. These are a couple I hunted for. So Simpsons, first Simpsons in comics. War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas. This is the first appearance of a bunch of Asian characters, which will probably be coming in the movies soon. This was Kill or Be Killed, very popular Image comic that's, you know, optioned for film, TV, you know, bunch of stuff. Most of the books that I bought and, you know, sent to press, they're not here because they're still going through the process. And apparently there's an unprecedented amount of people doing this now because of the coronavirus. So I must be, you know, there's probably 1,000 people like me got into it suddenly. A little overwhelmed. These are all the other comics that are perfect. They're already perfect. They're mint. So I just need to send them to CGC. I don't need to get them pressed and graded, which, you know, you want to do if there's any defect on the comic. But these books have no defect, pretty much no defects. So I'm pretty sure these are already 9.8, so you can send them directly to CGC. Got this Wolverine, all new Wolverine 3, first appearance of Honey Badger. It's like a clone of Wolverine that people really like. Naomi, second print, issue 1. Ava DuVernay is gonna do a TV show. So, you know, I just got a bunch of books, right? And I thought, okay, you know, maybe I spent like $1,000 buying comics, that's pretty crazy, but I thought, yeah, maybe 1,000. I already put a bunch of money into stocks. Yeah, so I decided to do a spreadsheet the other day because I kind of wanted to figure out like how much am I putting in, how much am I profiting. I need to really get a sense of it because it's fun. I mean, it's definitely fun, more fun than stocks. But I know this market better. I know how it works better. So definitely recommend making a spreadsheet. Make a spreadsheet. So I made a spreadsheet where I put the title of the book, the number, cost I bought it for, the fees, cleaning, pressing, grading fees, and then the total of the raw grading fee total. Then, you know, once I get the grade back, I'm gonna write the grade, the estimate of the value, the sale price, and then the profit. That's the idea, right? So I thought I spent $1,000. I do the spreadsheet, I realize I spent over $3,000 on books because I lost my mind. I had no idea I was getting that crazy. That's why I recommend doing a spreadsheet. And then, you know, with the grading costs so far, I didn't even grade them all yet. Altogether, it's over $5,000. So I spent over $5,000, like $5,200 on comic book investing. I also spent $5,200 on stock market investing. This is the exact same amount. So, and that's just a coincidence. But it offers like a cool little race or test, right? So, will I make more on the stock market than on comics? Can I make more on comics than the stock market? So with 52 in comics, stocks, which will come out on top? So far, the stocks have made a good amount of money. They're ahead by a huge degree. Comics take time, and it's also about timing the market to sell at the exact time when the book is at its highest value. And it's like hard. There's no charts you can read really, but there's trends you could look for, and news you can read, and also, you know, books to find that people aren't looking for at the moment that you think might do well in the future. So a big thing that happened also in the last year or two is that people realized that the newsstand edition of comics are super valuable. So, for instance, this comic, Star Wars 43, which is a huge spec book right now because it's the first appearance of Lando Calrissian, and the Lando show's coming out. So when that trailer drops, this book value will probably go up, most likely. And it has a newsstand, these barcodes. So in the 90s, this was not favored. People didn't want the barcode. They wanted the, you know, the little logo thing, because that was cooler. But it turns out from 1980, the number of books printed were about half and half, barcode, not barcode, because these were sold in newsstands, these were sold in comic book stores. But after 1980 and over time, especially 1990 on, only 10% or less of the books were made newsstand. So these become way more valuable. That's the thing. People realize newsstand, there's way less of them. They're more scarce from 1985 on, way more scarce. So they're always more valuable. Whereas like no one cared. Just 5 years ago, no one cared. Now it's a big deal. So if possible, if the book is made from 1985 on, get the newsstand, look for the newsstand. I'm probably gonna do individual videos about different topics like these anyway, but for now, that's that. Yeah, so we're gonna figure out the challenge. So over the course of this series, we're gonna, you know, go over books, the value I bought it for, what I got as a grade, trials and tribulations in ordering books on eBay, things I learned, things I lost money on, wasted money on because I didn't know what was going on. And then figuring out your kind of strategy. Like, definitely have a strategy. Don't go crazy. Like, I went a little crazy, but through going crazy, I figured out my strategy. I'm going to invest in books with, generally speaking, minorities. I'm going to invest in minorities because I think a lot of minorities hold a lot of potential in the future. So I invest in a lot of books with first appearances of a lot of minority characters. I know some people might hate that, but it's just a way to focus my collecting, so I'm not like trying to get everything. So a big thing I'm collecting is Static issue 1, because Static will be in a TV, film, whatever series on HBO Max. Michael B. Jordan is producing the movie that's coming out. So once that trailer drops, most likely this book will skyrocket in value. It's a Newsstand. The rare 10% of them are Newsstand. For some reason, CGC is not recognizing this as the Newsstand yet. I don't know why. So when you send books to CGC, like, write those notes and they'll maybe put it on the label. I got this pre-graded because I just wanted to get one of these because I've never had one of these. This is my one and only graded comic so far. So we'll see as they come in, because I'm expecting like 60 books graded soon. And yeah, we'll figure out how it goes from there. So I hope you like this video. It's just a little precursor to everything that's coming, and just to get a sense of my history with the hobby and like where it's going, and hopefully save a lot of headache with the learning curve, because, you know, I'm sure the world needs another comic book collecting channel, you know, out of the 1,000, I'm sure. But, you know, we all offer different perspectives, so that can be, you know, what the thing is, right? It's the same story, but different perspective, right? So hopefully you like this perspective, and, you know, we'll get to it. If you like this channel, you know, as it's starting, like, subscribe, and in the comments, just tell me if you're back in the hobby. If this is, you know, if you've never stopped, or if you took a break and you're back. I'm a breaker. I'm back. Wow, things have changed. Things have changed a lot. So yeah, just like, let's talk about it. Let's hash it out. And yeah, till next time. Happy collecting, y'all.